Good morning and welcome to VAS Golf. So I wonder what week this week is in the golfing calendar. This might give us some clues. We'll wonder what that is. And oh yes, it might be that as well. Um, so yeah, enjoyable week for all of us. Certainly a lot of memories. Certainly growing up as a kid. Just be interesting to hear what your thoughts on who you think will win this week. I'm also running a competition which I'll touch on at the end of this video. So Masters, yeah, starts. I think my first memory of the Masters is probably '86. Yeah, I'd say it would be Nicholas beating basically Norman to it, another one that Greg lost. But yeah, that's probably my earliest bit about thinking about majors and certainly the Masters. Growing up, I should have probably been a Seve fan, and I was, but my idol was actually Greg Norman. Um, and obviously, things have changed over the last few years. I don't think the same way now, but that's something else. But yeah, I mean, I think '87 was probably I remember it clear as anything. A lot of you wouldn't know or had seen. It's worth a look at a playoff. Actually, Seve was involved in that playoff. He went out on the first extra hole on the 10th. He left that playoff. Yeah, it was Larry Mize, Seve, and Greg Norman. Obviously, me pulling hard for Greg Norman, and Larry Mize um, missed the green right on 11, a long way right. The camera kind of foreshortens it because it doesn't look like it's just where the camera angle's behind him. It makes the chip shot look shorter than it actually was. And Greg's looking good. Fourth will probably win it because up and down from where Larry Mize was yeah, really difficult. Larry Mize is actually a resident of Augusta, so yeah, it was unbelievable for him. So he decides to chip, ball running towards the water, and yeah, it goes in for three. Which Greg, obviously, then another blow to him. He went through his whole career. I mean, great golfer, but he had some body blows, that fella. So Larry chips in for birdie and ends up winning it. Greg obviously had like a 35 footer or something, and it obviously didn't go in. So I'll add this video now so you can have a look and see what that chip shot looked like.
That wedge looks like it's got a lot of loft, so I imagine he'll hit it really high just on the green and feed it down the hole if he can.
If he can gather his nerves and his emotions, he can play the shot.
I've been very impressed by all three's composure, but mainly Larry's. He's been very, very calm. How's that look?
Okay, so another memory, and this one's kind of cool because there's a couple of bits to this. So the year after, and all obviously around the '80s, I was very heavily into golf, like sort of middle to late. That's when I started properly playing a game, as I've said before. 1988, so a year later, and nobody had won the week before and the week after. So the week before the Masters and then the Masters. Sandy Lyle from Scotland won the TPC at Sawgrass, which used to be played the week before the Masters. So he won that in a playoff against a guy called Jeff Sluman. Following week, he's playing, I think him and Calcavecchia were battling it out. He needed birdie up the last to win, and he hit a one iron, which Sandy was famous for hitting one irons off the tee. He'd hit it absolute country mile and wearing big jackets. He was quite an incredible golfer. And he hit the one iron in the bunker, which obviously fairway bunker, difficult shot. He flicks a 7 iron out, pins on the bottom. It rolls up the slope, and then it decides to roll back down again. And it rolls down to about, I don't know, if I can remember rightly, I don't know, about 10 foot, 8 foot, something like that. and an amazing shot, especially under that sort of pressure. And obviously going for his, I don't think he'd won the Open before that, so, but still, yeah, he won the Open in '85. So yeah, this to win the Masters for the first time, and he sunk the putt and won the Masters with a quite incredible 3 up the 18th. A few months later, I'm playing in the Wentworth Junior Open on the East Course, and we're playing a short par 4 14th. We're playing in 3 balls. There's some houses behind the green. Now I happen to know that Sandy Lyle owns one of these houses, so we putted out, gone and had a look, and like I said, I'm only remembering this stuff because it's old stuff I'm bringing back up. And literally, Sandy Lyle was in the garden, which is mad. So one of our playing partners turns around, he shouts out, more to the point, "Show us your green jacket." To which Sandy goes in the house. So I thought, oh, he doesn't want to be disturbed. I bet he's annoyed. But he's come out wearing the green jacket. Now, you couldn't write this. He's come over, chatted to us, how we're getting on, all the rest of it. We're congratulating him on the Masters win. But he's wearing this jacket, which, not being funny, how many people have seen a Masters champion, certainly that year, wearing a green jacket? Now, he's such a nice bloke to do that. And we chatted to him for a couple of minutes because obviously we're playing in a tournament, I have to get on with it. But what a nice guy, what a nice gesture to do that. And like I said, they're not supposed to take the jackets home with them. But obviously, if you have, they're supposed to stay in the lockers at Augusta. But what a day that was. That just made our day. Quite incredible. Okay, so I've got Sandy's second shot into 18, which then obviously held the putt thereafter and went on to win. But have a look at his second shot. Quite an incredible shot under that pressure and those circumstances.
Here's Sandy Lyle.
7-iron. And the lip right there in front of him is the main concern. 7-iron is plenty. It's the lip. He picked it clean.
Sounded good, didn't it?
Oh, watch this. Watch this.
Not over yet.
Watch this. There it goes. There it goes. Well, I've seen 2 of the best. That's what I had in mind for Calcavecchia. But what a brilliant shot at the end, the last shot of the day.
Almost the same thing that Stadler did.
So, fast forward 2005. Now, this shot's been seen by certainly the newer generation of golfers have seen a lot of this shot. Tiger on the 16th, obviously hits it miles over the back for him, obviously, clears the green. But the problem with that shot was, everyone says, oh, the slope's there and all the rest of it. One was the circumstances, and 2 was, I mean, his ball's up against the collar of rough, so it wasn't, he had to really nip it off that grass. So yeah, it's that chip shot where he's hit up the slope, rolled down, and then the ball stops on the edge of the hole, and then drops in, which is quite incredible. A great bit of advertising for Nike, because obviously the Nike swoosh was literally just there on the edge of the hole, with all these viewers watching. Quite incredible bit of advertising that was. But yeah, under that circumstances, the shot was like I said, that collar of rough, quite incredible. And he went on to beat Chris DeMarco in the playoff to win that green jacket. But yeah, an unbelievable shot.
Trevor Immelman's ball come from to get it close?
Well, I am reminded of Davis Love here 4 or 5 years ago when he pitched in.
Yeah, he's a little bit further up, I think, than Davis was.
Yes, he is.
Got the same basic kind of shot. He's going to have to get it close, he's going to have to put it up into the slope, though, somewhat. And, of course, it's made a lot tougher by having that second cut right behind the ball. It almost forces him, I think, to put it back and have to hit a low shot. He cannot put it up in the air with the second cut that close behind the ball. You can see him putting it back in his stance right here and picking the club up like he's going to hit right down on it.
And he's picked out a landing spot that is a good 25 feet above the hole.
There's a good chance he doesn't get this inside DeMarco's ball.
have you seen anything like that?
So there's a map of the golf course there for you. The weird thing about Augusta is it's hard to get in there, but once you get in, like getting tickets and stuff, and it's expensive. But once you get in there, it's so cheap. I'll put on here the price of sandwiches and stuff on a still, and it's quite incredible. But unfortunately, I've got this stuff, but I've never been. It is a bucket list for me. I nearly went when I was for my birthday at the age of 50. It didn't quite happen. This was from a friend of mine who went a couple of years ago, so he was kind enough to bring me back some stuff. But yeah, I definitely want to do this. Definitely a bucket list job. Okay, so it's competition time. To win these, all you need to do is subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video. Tell me who you think will win the 2025 Masters. If I get a tie of winners of the competition, I'll work out some sort of playoff system where I get one eventual winner, and I'll send these through the post to you. Right, that was today's video. Enjoy the Masters, I'm sure I will. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so just a bit of terms and conditions on the rules of this. I'll give you till the end of today, so I can give you the first round on who you think will win the Masters 2025. Second round onwards, all entries are void. Good luck and enjoy the Masters.